Let's talk about the warrant and how it can be helpful in the synthesis prompt, particularly emphasizing your voice and helping you move past just summarizing the points of the sources and restating the prompt. Okay, so the warrant is something behind a claim. It's what propelled you to make a particular claim. So it's a belief or an assumption, and this is what you want to articulate. Okay, let's take a look at an example. So we've got a claim English teachers should do weekly sentence imitation. So behind this are some warrants or assumptions that led me to make this claim and believe in this statement. So the first one, and there can be multiple warrants. So there doesn't have to be a single one or a double. There are lots of different ways that you can phrase it. But one way is that learning theory illustrates that you have to repeat new movements. So repetition is key in learning theory. And then immediate feedback. And so weekly sentence imitation provides that. And then another warrant or assumption is that when you have complex writing tasks like writing a paragraph, for instance, if you break down those tasks into, for instance, sentence level, it's a shorter sequence. That's particularly helpful. There should be there. Okay. Now let's take a look at another example. We did this prompt about war coverage. Okay, so people had a variety of different positions. So one basic claim, and this is just sort of a restatement of the prompt. So there's really not much of a voice here, except you're taking a side, okay? So you should not filter news coverage. So let's watch how the warrant allows us to go beyond just restatement, and rather it allows us to insert our voice. Okay, so yeah, that's the claim. Oh, I skipped the warrants. Okay, so what led someone or me to come to this conclusion, and again, you can come up with different warrants, but these are two possible warrants, that it's about a democratic society, that citizens should make their own conclusions based on evidence, and the evidence should be untainted, okay, by the government or the media. So this is this is a basic definition of democracy. And then the other warrant is exercising the First Amendment is important, that we need to continually model its use, and that strengthens its cultural value. So it's a part of the Constitution that's living, that's alive. It still means something. So those are some warrants. Now let's see what happens when we blend these warrants into our thesis statement and topic sentences, because this is our voice, right? This comes from us. This is where we're moving beyond just the prompt and what sources say. Okay, so now the thesis takes the basic claim, okay, and we add to it. So both the strengthening of a democracy and its living constitution demand, okay, however disquieting, I like that word. And then the same thing in the topic sentence. Modeling the First Amendment rights strengthens democracy, and the dynamic role the Constitution plays in shaping public discourse. Okay, so you've gone beyond, you're not just restating a particular point that a source has made. Now, the next issue I just want to touch on are the topic strings. So I want you to pay attention to what you place in there. So here you've got a sentence set up with a source, and it's quoted. And too often, what I see placed in this area is basically just L1 or just kind of summary of what the source says. It's basically just saying, he says, quote. But what really needs to go there is some of the language, okay, of the warrant. Because this allows us to see the purpose of the source, right? Why you're using it. And it places so that by the time we get to the source, we understand clearly how it's supporting your particular position. So here you're going beyond just, well, he says, okay, which anybody can do. So remember, this is a place for your persuasive voice to be assertive. Okay.